Let's be real about privilege.
Sure.
Yes, sir. It exists out here. It exists.
It's time. It's time to discuss it.
Yes, it is. But before we get started, we'd be remiss if not to give a shout out to our sixth member, Mr. Savage. He's now officially a father.
Hey.
So can't wait to get him back on
here. Yes.
Right. But take care of your business. He's on paternity leave from the Knicks right now. Coach Savage.
I
like how he tweeted that
years we all about to be replaced with girls.
Right. Literally.
Leia, we finna be replaced by all girls, and I'm cool with it.
Man, I heard she was born at 224. You know what I'm saying? That's what Savage says. So that's real cool. Kobe, like, you know what I'm saying? So she may be the next baby goat.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Hey.
All my homies getting babies, man.
And one last note, man. And last but not least, man, welcome to the LBR family. Uncle Mike and his podcast. Let's talk about it on YouTube, man. Check them out anytime YouTube. And man, just remember, keep following us at the LBR Media, LB Real Media. And man, we just keep producing great content. Let's talk about it. Got Scooting with Sheedy. Let's tighten up. Got Trevor.
Oh yeah,
podcast coming soon.
Blitzburg County dropping next week. First episode.
Yes, sir. Congrats.
Content. I love it.
All I got to say, man, what's a network without music? That's all I got to say.
Yeah. Let's get it started, Sheedy.
And here we go.
Man, so two big headlines we believe that we need to discuss here at Let's Be Real. And I'll take the first one off the top because this is less important. Well, equally as important, I would say. But the name of the show is Privilege for today. And someone that has gotten privilege from multiple sports, Mr. Timothy Tebow. Tim Tebow is about to and has already signed a contract to be a tight end, position he has not played in the NFL, for a one-year deal with the Jacksonville Jaguars. This does align him again with a coach that recruited him, Mr. Urban Meyer, while he was at University of Florida. So I want to get everyone's thoughts. There are mixed reviews about this, more negative than positive. The most maybe positive review about Tim Tebow coming to that locker room was former wide receiver for the Jacksonville Jaguars, Jimmy Smith, who said that he thinks that's a good move for Jacksonville and that Colin Kaepernick would have divided the locker room. Whereas others have stated that this is a terrible move. Why is Colin Kaepernick nowhere in the NFL? So I want to get our thoughts about it. We can just keep the order that we have right here on the screen. So we'll go Sharky, to Trevor, and then Skylar. Thoughts about Tim Tebow joining back in the NFL as a tight end at a completely different position than he's been at before.
Really don't care. We still gonna beat the Jaguars twice this year. Ain't no difference. Titans. I don't really care. But I mean, it surprised me. Urban Meyer was this college head coach. Urban Meyer was the first time NFL head coach. Urban Meyer is also the same player who drafted a running back in the first round that he plans to use as third down back. So, good luck to the Jags. Jags doing Jags things. We'll see what Tim Tebow does. See if he actually can play tight end. See if he takes a roster spot from somebody who's maybe more deserving. We'll see how it plays out. But we all know what it is. And it is what it is.
Bro, you literally took my answer right out of my mouth. Is exactly what the Jags would do. Like, you literally had a Super Bowl capable with caliber team a few years ago, and now you're back getting the number one pick. You know what I'm saying? You hire Urban Meyer. Of course, we know their relationship with Tebow. Hired as a tight end. I mean, if you catch a couple balls, cool. You know, it's great for jersey sales. I tell you that, especially with them, you know, being that doing their thing in the area. So I mean, it's calculated, and we as black people, we can't get upset at every time, you know, the white man wins. But I mean, it was something written. You know what I'm saying? This probably, of course, he could have hired him as a coach, but why not have another person helping a young, you know, quarterback to succeed? You know what I'm saying? We can call it.
Oh, no.
What's up?
Hold on for a
Thank
second.
you.
Be a
What's
coach for what? He gonna
Thank
be a he gonna
I mean,
be a
assistant.
coach?
I mean, he could assistant. Like Tebow know the game, bro. If we study how he was talking about the game, Tebow clearly knows the game. And I know it's a couple Steelers fans upset that whatever I got to say about positive Tim Tebow, it's cool. 316, it's fine. Happy Sunday. But at the end of the day, Tim Tebow's there for a reason. You're gonna see a lot of Jaguar fans wearing this dude jersey. It's gonna be great for ticket sales. And if it helps Trevor Lawrence, I'm with it. But if it was anybody else, cool. Like Kaepernick's at this point not coming back to the league. Like we got to get that. We for what? He's like 32, 33 in a way. We got to get that out of our head.
So it's Tim Tebow, by the way.
Tebow is around that same age.
He's a tight end.
Perfect.
Trevor.
Let me correct Tuke on this one. The only reason that I'm upset as a Steelers fan is that we don't have them on the schedule, because I was gonna be laughing my butt off to where he lines up alongside TJ Watt and TJ Watt just destroys him on the trenches. So if I'm upset as a Steelers fan, it's like Joe Hayden is like, we don't have him on the schedule. This is a ploy, man, to get that man back as the quarterback for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Like, I'm
you gonna go that far?
Yes, I am willing to go that far, because if it was that serious, they wouldn't have signed him. I think this is a ploy to get him back as the QB, and I feel bad for Trevor Lawrence because I'm giving it half the season. Honestly, half the season. Trevor Lawrence stinks it up for half the season. Do not be surprised. I said if.
Wow.
Do not be surprised if Urban Meyer just decides to make that change and put Tim Tebow at quarterback. Pretty sure there's going to be some kind of playbook designed specifically for Tim Tebow, and if there's any positive play that Tim Tebow makes at the quarterback position.
Let me ask you this, Trevor. Let me ask you this, because Urban Meyer, he's won with Tebow, right? And that's the thing. Like, we can say whatever we want about Tebow twice. He's won college, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. But if you bring that system to the NFL, why not go ahead and try to do it with the man that you've won with? You know what I'm saying? What up, Savage?
Well, that's exactly that's the point that I'm making, is that it's been proven that they've won together. They've won 2 national championships together. So why not at this point? I think at this point you have to put Trevor Lawrence out there because you drafted him number 1 overall. But do not be surprised if we see some kind of formation where Tim Tebow is lined up as a QB, and if he makes any kind of positive play or gets some kind of touchdown, yeah, I know it's crazy. Get some kind of touchdown. Don't be surprised if folks don't be surprised if folks will start asking asking for Tim Tebow to become the starter. I'm betting the over under that he gets a touchdown. So I'm betting that he gets 1 touchdown. Like that's a bet that I can definitely take on that. So,
are you taking that in week 1 or just overall in the season?
Overall in the season.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, okay. I'm willing to bet that he.
You up and under? He catching 1 too? Which one? Catch
a touchdown period. A touchdown period.
Okay.
Catch, throw, run. Some's telling me he's going to get 1. So, but honestly, I could care less. But that's what I really think was going on with Tim Tebow signing this deal.
Is it a ploy? Yes, but it's more so a ploy to sell tickets. I do not agree with you at all. I don't think there will ever be a moment in time where Tim Tebow is starting for an NFL team. Period. It's dead on that. I think we just talked about he's 32, 33. He struggled. He didn't struggle. I would say this when he was with the Broncos. He didn't struggle, but I fully expect him to at any point, if he's starting, because I'm pretty sure Trevor Lawrence would have taken the Jaguars by storm, because I think he's going to be a really good quarterback. I think that conversation is dead, but to the question about him being a tight end, I think he'll make the team just because that's Urban Meyer's guy. I think every coach, some form of fashion, they like to hire their own guys just for, I guess, comfortability. But I really don't like this move. I do not see Tim Tebow working out as a tight end. I've never seen film of Tim Tebow catching passes. I've never seen film of Tim Tebow blocking anybody. And this is the NFL. This is the NFL where people are get paid to, really rush the passer. And in the AFC, there are people who are really good at rushing the passer. He is going to get exposed. I don't see him really running much play, really running many plays as a tight end. I think he'd be there more so for, as a decoy more than anything. But, putting his hand in the ground, blocking somebody, getting out and running routes. No, dog. This ain't it. Like we've all watched the NFL for quite a few years, and I do not see this working. I really, I'm nice, but I really hope he doesn't, to Sharky's point, I hope he's not taking a roster spot from somebody else who actually deserves it. I'm done with this topic. I think this is, another case of white privilege yet again. But it is what it is. I don't see this working at all.
No, like I said, I hope the whole Trevor Lawrence experiment works, because I'm telling you, if he stinks it up for the first few games of the season, rumors are gonna start.
Not to start Tim Tebow.
Trust me, there are going to be rumors to start Tim Tebow. I promise you.
He's there for a reason.
Let Trevor Lawrence
to sell tickets to, not to potentially.
They could have sold tickets with Trevor Lawrence. This is a coy to get that man as a starting quarterback. I'm telling you, let Trevor Lawrence sneak it up. Rumors are going to start
to get the Christians to come to the Jaguar games. That's really what it's
Happy
about.
Sunday.
And what I will say before we pass on, because I believe we've spent too much time on Timothy, is that he has no idea what it's going to be like to be a tight end in the league. What it's like to go down, for that amount of time. You've been 33 years old. You've been out of the league as well. Now I will say this: he is a very, very hard-working man. We know that his work ethic is great. Exactly, that's what I was getting. His work ethic is great, but I'm sure there's other people that are more qualified at that position, have done that position for many of years, that can do that better. If you wanted to sign, to your point, Trevor, if you wanted to sign Tim Tebow and believe he's going to be a quarterback, I'm not saying issue, but if they thought he'd be a quarterback, then just go and sign him as a quarterback. I get you, and not bring him in as a tight end. But regardless of the fact that it's ridiculous that we're even discussing this for longer than 10 minutes that we have. We're kicking it over to more important news about the NFL to Skylar. Go ahead.
I definitely appreciate that. So for those who, have lived on the rock for the past couple of days, the NFL did release their schedule on this past Wednesday, which is just amazing how I think the NFL lines up everything that they're doing as far as, free agency, releasing of the schedule, training camp. It seems like every month they're doing something. So the NFL schedule was released on this past week. I'm pretty sure we all watched closely. We all probably went through the schedule, wins, loss, I'm looking forward to this game, whatever. So everybody has two questions. I'll run down the list of questions that I have. This is just a list of questions, things to look forward to in the season, what matchups you're looking forward to, rookie quarterback matchups that you're looking forward to. So Shitty, I'm going to start with you. The NFL season, is vastly approaching. So what week one matchup are you looking forward to the most?
This was hard, Skylar. I'm thankful for this question, man, because legitimately, besides the Titans, our teams really have some I think, pivotal games in week one. I think Dallas might lose to Tampa Bay. Philly at Atlanta, which are both up and coming teams. The Jets coming to Carolina, so Sam Darnold, right? But very intriguing is Pittsburgh at Buffalo. To me, that's one of the Pittsburgh and Buffalo are two teams that to me have been in the top 5 in the AFC for the past 2 years. So this game is going to mean a lot to me in regards to seeding moving on throughout the season. And another game that I'm looking forward to again in the AFC, Cleveland at Kansas City. Again, Cleveland's been trying to up and come there 6, 7, whatever it may be. Of course, Kansas City has been very dominant these past 3 to 4 seasons. Again, this week one is going to be very important. Those two games, I would presume, in the AFC moving forward. The other game that has an NFC team is Seattle, Indianapolis, that I'm also intrigued about. I'm intrigued to see how Carson Wentz fits into the system. I'm also intrigued to see how Russell Wilson bounces back off his season from last season going into this season. So those are some week 1 matchups to really keep an eye out for.
Yeah, and it's a long list of them. I mean, like you say, Buffalo and Pittsburgh. I even think I saw Carolina and the Jets. And I think if that wasn't week 1, nobody would care about it. But that's a pretty decent matchup, especially with Sam Darnold coming from the Jets going over to Carolina. So that could be potentially well. So Big Money Sharky, I saw you tweet earlier this week. You're trying to hit a bunch of Titan games this week, and I think a lot of you guys have quite a few national televised games. So my question for you, sir. What Monday Night Football game is a must-watch for you?
And thank you, Skyler, for not saying outside of my favorite team on that question, because the Titans play the Buffalo Bills in Nashville in Week 6 on Monday Night Football. Mm-hmm. One, that's my pick because we barely get any national TV games, and this year we got 3 of them, so that's actually a big deal for the Titans. 2, although it's going to be basically a Buffalo home game because they always take over our stadium, but 2, I think it's a matchup between two. I always say it's the Chiefs by themselves. Then you got the teams under them. I think it's 2 teams that are contenders for that second spot that can challenge Kansas City, not necessarily beat them. But also, if I choose one outside of my favorite team, Bears Steelers Week 9, because I want to see the battle of Ohio State quarterbacks, Justin Fields versus Dwayne Haskins. Let's go.
Hey, bro, I was not expecting, to say that Ohio State quarterback.
That was a good one.
I am one to say that I believe that Dwayne Haskins at some point in this season will start, and I'm looking forward to that. I've said that I don't think he got his fair chance in Washington, so I'm glad the Pittsburgh Steelers, at least are giving him a shot. I will say that, and I think they're really, really gun set on, giving him a shot, potentially when Ben Roethlisberger is either hurt or he retires next season. So for those that, of course, that do not know, there are 18 weeks in this season. So Trevor, my questions to you: what Week 8 or what final regular season game will be played that could, potentially affect the playoff seeding the most?
Well,
hey, Lana.
Hey, what's going on? It's really only one game because I've looked over the entire schedule for Week 18. There's really only one game that's going to have some serious playoff implications, and that's Steelers versus Ravens. Steelers at Baltimore, Week 18. I can guarantee you at some point, 1 or 2 things are going to be happening. Either these 2 teams are going to be playing for the division, or they're going to be playing for playoff seeding. I can definitely guarantee that. Now, another matchup that may have some similar implications I'm looking at for Week 18 is Panthers-Buccaneers. That's a game that could potentially have some serious playoff implications as well. I'm not sure. Maybe Tampa Bay may have the division wrapped up, but that's a game that maybe Carolina could possibly win and probably shock some people and maybe get in the playoffs as a wild card. Mm-hmm. So if I had to choose 2 games from Week 18, it would definitely be Panthers-Bucks, Steelers-Ravens for sure.
No, and I think that first one is I think that one's good to call out because if I'm not mistaken, the AFC North typically for the most part comes down to that last week to 2 weeks of who plays, who wins, and things like that. So I'm definitely looking forward to that, and I do like how the NFL they've adjusted their schedule to kind of put game or divisional games at the end of the year, so that way you don't have teams sitting players and things like that. So, too, you up next, good sir. What rookie quarterback matchup are you looking forward to the most?
For sure. Well, salute to my guys for bringing up my team without having me to do it. Even though one's a hater, it is what it is. No, but a rookie quarterback, Justin Fields, man, I'm really, really excited to see what he brings to the city of Chicago, on the field. For a team that went 8-8, a lot of people didn't respect Mitchell Trubisky. He was an average quarterback, and I would agree with them. And now you infuse that team with some excitement, on the field with a quarterback who can do it all, who arguably may be the best quarterback in the draft, who kept continuously falling until a team that really needed him, a team that ain't had a black quarterback. Sharky, this is your former team. When was the last time y'all had a black quarterback? All right, then. I guess it's the first one then. So I guess it's the first one. But now just that excitement. Then off the field, of course, we got friends in Chicago. that's really excited to see, you know, what he does. Just having a be able to buy a black man's, you know, jersey is a plus in itself. But when he's leading your team, you know, they can do a lot for your community. So I'm excited to see what Justin Fields do on and off the field.
Yeah, and I think that's probably one team that I may, and I think somebody has this question later down, but I think that may be one team that I kind of, you know, casually, you know, look at just because, you know, it's a black quarterback. It's Justin Fields. And Justin Fields is, in my opinion, one of the quarterbacks that he was probably one of the best talents in this past draft. And, you know, for him to fall in which he did, it wasn't surprising, just because you know how they kind of do black quarterbacks from Ohio State. But I think he'll have a much different career than some of the quarterbacks that's come out of there recently. So I'm gonna actually throw it right back to you. So what team do you foresee, you know, taking a huge step forward and making the playoffs that probably didn't make it last year? And give me a team that's also outside of Carolina, because I know you.
Man, I mean, you know me, and you know y'all said it on the pod. Y'all trust it. Y'all trusted Sam Darnold before I did. Like I said, for a team that went 0-9 in games that was decided on, you know, 3 or less. I mean, come on, defense got better, so of course that's my team. Honestly speaking, that's a team that I expect to make the playoffs or at least wild card. If I had to pick another one, I guess Arizona. Like they're taking a huge step with their defense, which was a weakness. Kyler Murray gets another year with, you know, who we call the best wide receiver on their team. They got Kenyon Drake back, I believe. So I mean, their offense is going to be rolling, and that's a team like they didn't make the playoffs. Or JJ Watt, you know, they want to do right by him, and I hate that Fitzgerald retired, because I would love them seeing him go just one more time this year. But you know, that's another team I see coming up.
No, and I think Carolina, with, you know, the addition of Sam Darnold and the weapons that he has this year, I think, you know, regardless of if it was your favorite team or not, I think that's probably a team that, you know, some of us definitely would have called out. So I think that's a good point there. And I think Arizona, Cliff Kingsbury, he may be under the hot seat. I know for you know how inconsistent they were last year, and I think, you know, they're definitely putting their roster together to, you know, potentially make a run. I think they potentially still could, you know, miss out just because of the division that they're in. That's a tough division. So they potentially, you know, I could see an instance where they get in. I could definitely see an instance where they don't get in.
Like you said, Cleaner's under the hot seat, so I mean, he's gonna have to step it up. Yeah, and it's not, honestly, it's not as tough as you think.
The NFC South is not as tough as you making it out to be.
No, I'm at the NFC West. The NFC West. I'm sorry,
the NFC West. Okay.
I mean, the Seahawks, the 49ers got a rookie quarterback. I mean, the Rams are
Trey Lance is not going to play for the 49ers. So
I don't know about that one.
I mean, they drafted a number 3. I don't see why he wouldn't.
Russell Wilson is still in Seattle, and if you watch the 49ers,
that's true. I'm not going to disrespect Russ no more. You're right.
If you watch the 49ers last year, their defense was still it was okay. They had a bunch of injuries, and I think they could potentially make another run.
So the Rams ain't no joke either.
Yeah, that's true.
Now they got Matt Stafford. Now they got an actual quarterback there. Look out for the Rams.
Exactly. So Sharky, outside of you going to go see your Titans pretty much every game, every week this season, outside of the Titans, what's another team that, you know, you may keep an eye on that throughout the season that, you know, that just may, you know, just randomly catch your eye?
Well, first I want to remark, Tuke said former team. You got the Bears mixed up with the Bulls.
Right.
Yeah,
it's always Chicago. It's always
that's why I froze. But the Bears are actually my dad's favorite team, so I do like them. So it's not like but Tuke's Panthers is one team. I'm gonna do one AFC and NFC. The Panthers. I want to see what Sam Darnold is. You know, see what he's about. I know they got the weapons, so I'm ready to see them take off. The NFC South is not, like Trevor said, I don't think it's that tough. I think you really just got Tampa Bay, who is New Orleans quarterback. I don't know. I don't think he does know. Atlanta is Atlanta, although Arthur Smith is there now. It's still Atlanta. So I think they can compete for their second spot in the NFC South this season. And AFC, I choose the Dolphins. Tua is going to the second year. They got them some weapons now. So let's see with this defense and another year in this system, see what they're made of with Brian Flores.
Yeah, for sure. I think that mind one is definitely going, because there's another team that potentially, you know, they missed the playoffs just short last year, but they could potentially, you know, make it next this upcoming season. And I think that all depends on Tua. I think their defense was, one of the best in the league last year. They just struggled at the quarterback position for the most part. So I think if he plays well, I think they'll get in. So Sheedy, I'm actually coming to you next. So, Aaron Rodgers has been in the news quite frequently over the past, couple of weeks. He's requested a trade out of Green Bay. Deshaun Watson has been in the news for several different reasons over the past couple of months as well, too. So those are two quarterbacks that I think people, as the season, before the season gets here, that potentially could be moved. So which one of those quarterbacks do you think gets traded first?
Thank you for the question. I believe the quarterback to get traded first will actually be Aaron Rodgers over Deshaun Watson. I say that because the Texans organization just has this weird thumb over them that controls things. And I think whatever they're doing to control and, have all these allegations out there, they have also devalued what they could get for Deshaun Watson as well. And so I think they keep him. Now, the thing in Green Bay is, again, where there's smoke, there's fire. And so all these things have been going on. There's something going on with that organization. And I only see Aaron Rodgers really trusting the players he's around and not necessarily the front office staff. And so I think he gets traded. A few scenarios out there, but I actually think he goes to the AFC. And I think he goes to a team that loves old veteran quarterbacks, which is not the Pittsburgh Steelers. I swear to God.
I know.
But I think he goes to the Denver Broncos. And I think the Denver Broncos package up a deal with some first round picks, Andrew Luck, get him out of there. And then they make a run. And I mean, the Denver Broncos defense is actually still pretty good, actually. Top 10 in the past 3 seasons, I believe. And so it's not impossible, but I think that's the best trade route because Denver also has enough capability and money to take on that contract that Aaron Rodgers has. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think Deshaun Watson stays, and I think Aaron Rodgers goes first.
And if he's traded to the Denver Broncos, that AFC West is going to be a beast. You talk about Pat Mahomes is there, Justin Herbert is there, and then adding Aaron Rodgers. You talk about how tough the NFC West is. The AFC West could definitely be, if Aaron Rodgers is traded there, that could potentially be one of the most difficult divisions to win. So I'll definitely be looking out for that one. And then the last question, Trevor.
Honestly,
go ahead.
Yep. Honestly, I think he can get going to the Raiders too. If we was speaking on the AFC West, you got a young team that's in Vegas now. Mm-hmm. Aaron Rodgers can bring some tickets.
Yeah, I agree there. And I think if you're one of those two franchises, really both, whatever Green Bay wants, you give it to them. I don't care what they ask for. Especially if you're Denver, you hadn't been able to get a quarterback right since Peyton Manning, and I don't think you ever will be. So I think if I was Denver, I would definitely give whatever Green Bay wants, I would do that. And I think the Raiders, I don't think they're just a quarterback away, but again, it's Aaron Rodgers, and you definitely do whatever you got to do to get a talent like that in your locker room. So Trevor, I'm gonna come to you. I think two teams that have improved the most in the offseason, potentially in the draft as well too, are the two teams that were just in the Super Bowl, whether that be Tampa Bay, who legit returned everybody from their roster, and top to bottom, they probably had the best roster in the NFL last year. The Kansas City Chiefs, who their weakness was, an offensive line, literally reloaded. They got rid of almost everybody and just reloaded and got a really good offensive line. And so there's talks, there's conversations that, that potentially could be the matchup that we see again in this for this upcoming Super Bowl. So my question to you is, will we see a repeat of the Super Bowl between the Kansas City Chiefs and Tampa Bay Buccaneers? If your answer is no, which team returns and which team does not?
Okay. This is actually pretty tough because it's a tad bit early to really call. Mm-hmm. It's hard to really say no. As of right, it's hard really to say no because it's not really a chance. It's hard to gauge right now because it's early. So if I had to really answer this question, just to be safe, I would say yes as of right now because I just don't see on the NFC side. I don't really see a team on the NFC that's really going to knock off the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And of course, it really depends on what happens with Aaron Rodgers. If he's still in the NFC or if he's traded to the AFC, of course, that's going to shake things up as well. So even if he is if he's traded to the AFC, who's to say that Kansas City makes it back? Because there's a good chance that whoever Kansas City matches up with, it could be a Aaron Rodgers-led team. So we may either we'll get this matchup again, or we'll get Aaron Rodgers versus Tom Brady. So
I agree with everything that you just said. And before we wrap this up, Tuke is over there. I'm not sure what the heck he's going over there. So I'm gonna ask you the same question. Then we're gonna wrap this up. Tuke, you get the same question.
Hey man, I'm gonna just keep it simple and sweet. Them Browns got better.
Oh my God. Okay.
All right, moving right along. They got better. I'll give you that. I don't. They not beating Kansas City.
Hey, they were 5 points away last season. They get Odell Beckham back.
Hey, too. Was somebody missing? Was somebody missing in the second half of the game?
It's cool, bro. Experience.
Next.
Yes, somebody was missing. Yes.
Next.
Exactly. You're bored. Exactly.
Oh, I love y'all, man.
All right, man. Let's get to the women, man. We got to give the women some love, man. We trying to get this Me Too movement rolling, trying to make sure WNBA get their ratings. Savage did mention I Don't Know Sports podcast, and I plan to do it. Their league pass, WNBA league pass, is on like $17.
Yeah, it's cheap. It's relatively
so
cheap.
Do that.
Buy the league pass. Do it, man. Support the women. Let's get this thing rolling. But I do want to ask, the season has just started, as we already saw Sabrina Ionescu already hit the game winning shot. Already had her Kobe moment, and I saw Candace Parker on a different team, Chicago Sky, and they had got their first win. So my question is, what do y'all most look forward to this WNBA season? And we can go the same order: Sheedy, Tuke, Skylar, Trevor.
All right, gotcha. Actually, one of the people that you just named is one of the reasons I definitely want to make sure we buy this league pass for the $10, $10, $5, and $2 ones, which is going to be Candace Parker, man. And being in Chicago, and it's really, sometimes people doubt people's intelligence in regards to the wherewithal of the particular sport. But when you listen to Candace Parker's intellect about basketball on the TNT, right? And you understand you're only getting her for like those 30 minutes, right? And think about how much basketball she's pouring back into Shaq, who we consider one of the most dominant players of all time, to D Wade, who was quite possibly the top 3 or 4 shooting guard of all time. And she's battling with these guys in regards to her intellect. So just imagine what she's going to be able to pour back into that Chicago team. And I'm really looking forward to watching them and then doing well. I don't have a WNBA team, so I might have to just follow with Candace and go with Chicago, to be honest, man. And I look forward to them, contending and being part of this for a few years to come. But again, her intellect makes me want to just watch how she does on and off the court for Chicago Sky. And I love that the women are just coming dressed this season. Love to see it, by the way.
Killing it. But first things first for me, we gotta salute Tamika Catchings for being inducted into the Hall of Fame. Huge shout out to her. Definitely grew up watching her.
Great speech.
Great speech. Sheedy, you knocked everything right on the head with Candace Parker. One of my favorite basketball memories is watching her go against Diana Taurasi in the NCAA college games. That happened twice, and me and my mom were just right there watching both of them. So I say that to say that I'll be able to watch Diana Taurasi live, going to a Mercury game. I definitely want to be able to go to a game and watch her and, check out and just to, get that experience in. But number 2, right now, the WNBA is also celebrating their 25th anniversary. So if you literally go Google WNBA right now, something nice will pop up on your screen. That's through phone or through computer, and the way that they're using social media now to gravitate towards the younger audience, for one, and for two, like you said, Sheedy, they're coming up, they're dressing up dope. There's a lot of beautiful women that I didn't know that was in the WNBA. For me being the only single brother on the pod, let me just say I'm excited for it. And for the WNBA, just to keep doing that thing. Like, whoever got their hand on the controller, don't keep doing your thing. Keep doing your thing.
Skylar's on you, buddy.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I heard same order. Actually, for me, what I'm looking forward to is just continued coverage of the NBA. I think, as I really like, that there was a huge deal around the season opening on yesterday. I think that was good. Hearing that that they have the league pass, I think that's absolutely really good news for people, that are trying to watch the NBA more, having or giving some form of package to where you can watch as many games as you want, because they aren't as televised as we probably would like for them to be. I'm not sure why the NHL is being broadcast on ESPN. Nobody wants to watch that. Not ESPN, but Major League Baseball. Who kind of cares? I would really like for the WNBA to have more games on ABC, on ESPN. TNT really about their life. They can put some games on there as well too. So I'm just looking for them to to have more coverage, for us to have this platform for us to continue to talk about different games, different players, and things like that. So I'm looking forward to that. And then of course Sabrina Nescu as well. She's a cheat code. She's a cheat code, and I really like watching her. So that's my answer.
All right. Well, I have two now, but of course, one was definitely what she mentioned with Candace Parker, just to see how she looks with a new team in Chicago. Of course, continued coverage is definitely something I'm looking forward to as well. I'll expand on Tuke's point about the Mercury. There's a new big three in Phoenix now with Diana Taurasi, Brittany Griner, and Skylar Diggins-Smith, who were each in double figures. Kudos to Phoenix for that. In dramatic fashion, I might add, Diana Taurasi hitting the game winner. But one of the most things I'm looking forward to is my team, which is the Las Vegas Aces. They suffered a lot of injuries last season heading into the wobble. However, they were still able to make the WNBA Finals. Unfortunately, they just ran into a much better team in the Seattle Storm. So we'll see what happens this season if they're finally able to make it over the hump. We know Asia Wilson was MVP last season. Everyone's getting healthy now for the Aces. We got Liz Cambage coming back. You still got Kelsey Plum there as well. So one of the things I'll definitely keep my eye on is the Las Vegas Aces, just to see if they can finally get over the hump and finally hoist that WNBA trophy at the end of the season.
Dang, great responses. So mine kind of picked it back off of Trevor, starting with Las Vegas. My favorite team would be Chicago Sky, because Candace Parker, Tennessee. I'm following Candace Parker just like I followed Jimmy Butler. So let's go Chicago Sky. But I am looking forward. What I'm probably most looking forward to is seeing her with Chicago Sky, how she does in a total new team. Pretty sure she's playing in her career back home with Chicago. Check out Sabrina Nescu. Hopefully she stays healthy this season. We get a full season of her this season. And Las Vegas, we saw the game yesterday. Seattle still beat them. They play again Tuesday. I honestly think that would probably be the finals rematch. But I know they had a huge injury with Angel McCautry. Now she's out for the season. Had torn meniscus or ACL, both. I think she had torn meniscus and ACL. Yeah. So that hurt. But I do kind of, like you said, they injured last year and still got to the finals. So I still kind of, long as they don't pile up, I still think that'll probably be the finals that we'll get again. Let's see, can they get over the hump? Because Seattle is tough. Breanna Stewart, Sue Bird back, 40 years old, bro, still out here.
Still giving buckets out here.
Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But, yep. Like I said, man, remember WNBA League Pass, about $17, $18. Man, please.
Get it.
I'm gonna just get it.
Yep. So let's move from the women to the men.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So this past week, Washington Wizards guard Russell Westbrook had since passed Oscar Robertson for triple doubles all time with 182. He since then eclipsed that mark and reached 183. So just wanted to get you guys' take on that. I will start with Took, then I'll go Took, Sheedy, Sharky, then Skylar. Took, celebrate the Brody and tell us why you want our faves to match up in the first round, why we want the Wizards and the Nets to match up in the first round of the playoffs this season.
Now, do we really want that?
Yes, we do.
For
the drama. Yes, we do.
Nah, that's something I love to see. But now, man, Russell Westbrook, like from the jump, like this was a player that I knew would be special. Just because I knew from the jump he carried that demeanor that we don't see in a lot of players, that Mamba mentality, if you will. To watch him grow into the player he is, from the Thunder, the Sonics at the time receiving an F from ESPN analysts when they drafted Russell Westbrook to match with Kevin Durant. Like, come on, man. Like, the kid was special from then. He just played with two other great point guards at UCLA, so he really didn't get to shine. So to see him grow into the alpha male that he is, to the leader that he's become, like, it's been a beautiful thing to watching Russell Westbrook. Like, I never could have seen him go into, the number one spot in triple doubles. Like, nobody could. But it's that heart and that mindset that Russell got that a lot of fans are gonna love to this day. And I think that because a lot of people are gonna put, like Stephen A, I'm definitely gonna call him out. Like, if he don't win a ring, he's a failed career. Like, we got analysts that'll put that kind of stereotype on our favorite players when it's like, yo, let's just give our man the roses they deserve while we got them instead of bash them for not ring chasing. You know what I'm saying? So salute to the Brody, salute to Russell Westbrook for changing the game. I don't think anybody else a match is because he got another 2-3 years to go. So he's, what I'm saying, do I want to see him go against the Nets in the playoffs? Hell no. Who wants to? But I definitely see him going in the playoffs. And if that's the case, then hey, that's the case, and it'll be what it is. But salute to the Brody,
man. I think about Russell Westbrook. The two things that I think hinder whatever greatness we portray. Man, let me back this up. The only two things I think that hinder his career are going to be his field goal percentage and his turnovers. If you have a tunnel vision head and you look past those things, as you should, and realize that this man has put up triple doubles as an average in 3 seasons, I think now, 4 seasons. He's averaged a triple double is amazing. And I just want to talk about something about this year, right? I love to went back, but I just want to talk about this year. He's leading the league in assists per game. And no one's close. It's not like someone can break that even within his last 3 weeks. And I want you to really think, who is he giving these assists to? The Wizards are playing with, and Westbrook got some bums with him. Okay, let's be honest here. Besides Beal, and that's about it. I really could care less about the rest of that team. And so for him to lead this team, and he had the sore thigh or whatever it was, or hamstring at the beginning of the season, which is I guess one of the reasons why he wasn't playing as well as he could. And don't get me wrong, injuries are injuries. I don't know how that even feels to play at a high level with bums and be hurt. And so to me, this is a remarkable thing to be happening. There needs to be nothing else slandered about Russell Westbrook because he's proven everywhere he goes, he's making an impact. Take Russell Westbrook off this team and put John Wall back on this team. This team is not fighting for a play-in right now. Let's just be honest. Russell Westbrook is the reason why this team is here where it's at now. And I'm not saying they're going to make it to see the Nets and all that other stuff. I don't even care about all that. They are playing good basketball now with a bunch of nobodies. And he's got 11.5 assists to prove it every single night.
Yep, man. We need to go and give him his flowers. Everybody talk about him stat chasing. Russell Westbrook said, if it was so easy, anybody would do it, right? Nobody else has averaged triple double longer than 1 season. That was Oscar Robertson. Nobody has more triple doubles than he has. Russell Westbrook has now in their career. Give him his flowers, man. It's yes, criticism. Yes, we're giving better criticism, man. We talked about this a little bit on starting five. Me too, and Trevor last week. Chasing rings, all of that. I mean, look at his team now. He won't win on champ. He won that team was barely playoff worthy. Like, win championship with that team. When KD left, that nobody's speaking him and Paul George to be Golden State. Now they probably should got the first round. They probably should beat Utah and stuff. Okay, that's valid criticism, but his chance of winning ring was that 1 year with KD when they blew the 3-1 lead. That was his two legit closest opportunities. Outside of that, you can't really get on him about ring chasing, not getting the ring. Houston was not beating the Lakers last year. You can miss me with anything about being disappointed in that Houston team. So, man, just start appreciating these players for what they are and everything that they're giving to the game. Everybody can't win the ring. Charles Barkley, Patrick Ewing, we can keep going. All of them got rings for a reason.
Allen Iverson.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think your point about, everybody's not going to win a ring, but I think, when it's all said and done, if you're retiring from whether it's the NFL, whether it's the NBA, you want to be known for something. And Russell Westbrook is going to be known for having the most triple doubles in NBA history.
Yep.
Like if somebody asks us that, 10, 15 years, like you were like, damn, it's actually Russell Westbrook and not LeBron James or not Will Chamberlain. Like this is a remarkable feat. Like I think I saw on Twitter earlier this week, somebody asked where they were like, I think Kobe Bryant was asked, LeBron James was asked, several people were asked, if this would be a record that would ever be broken. And everybody was like, hell no. Everybody was like, no, that's one record probably in sports that will probably never get broken. And he did it. And to your point, he's done it and he still has years left to go. So I think it's remarkable, and I will say, some people got a little outsiders themselves said, he's the second best point guard in NBA history. Slow down.
Numbers, those are the numbers, people.
Right.
Those are the numbers. We don't rock with them.
No, those got Brooks.
Right, but I think we've seen his worth. Because they struggled early in the season, and I think they were struggling, and I'm not sure if he was getting triple doubles like that. But as the season went on, and he's putting up video game numbers, and even the numbers he's putting up, I don't even think you can do in a video game. 28 points here, 16 rebounds, 17 assists, 24 points. That's crazy. You can't do that if you wanted to do that. You couldn't pray to God to get that done. It's absolutely crazy. I definitely think, again, to your point, Sharky, you definitely got to give this man his flowers. And again, when it's all said and done, you want to be known for something when you leave this earth. He's going to be known for having the most triple doubles, which I think is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, and I'll just provide this, and then we can move on. His overall basketball journey is gonna be a great feel-good story. When it's all said and done for Russell Westbrook, he only got a spot on the UCLA Bruins just because Jordan Farmar entered the draft after that following season. So if Jordan Farmar stays at UCLA, we don't even know who Russell Westbrook is because he was like a 3-star recruit coming out of high school. Couldn't really dunk until his senior year in high school. So you really got to pay attention to that as well. What he's done throughout his career has been truly remarkable. Again, with this season, yes, they struggled. There was a struggle going out the gate, but I think it was more so Russ just trying to get healthy. I think he was still hobbled just a tad bit with the knee issue. And I think now that he's playing the way that he's playing, I think he's 100% healthy. As we all stated, he still has about another 2 to 4 years left to still play at the high level that he's playing at. Now, are the Wizards going to be a championship team? Absolutely not. And it's no fault of his. It's no fault of Bradley Beal's. It's just a bevy of things that their front office has to address, and it starts with Scott Brooks. But that's another story. So in the end, my kudos to Russell Westbrook. Definitely getting your roses from me, and that's about it for me. So,
yes, it's on me now, gentlemen. The play-in is about to start really, really soon. I believe the first game is Tuesday. As of this podcast, the seeding has not been told yet. So Shark shaking his head. So I guess to make this interesting, what would be you all's favorite play-in matchup? And then who do you all see taking those 7 and 8 seeds in the Eastern and Western conferences? So we'll start with Sheedy, Shark, Skylar, Trev, and then we'll come back to me.
Yeah, can you rephrase that better? You want me to say who I want to see 7, 8, and 9, 10?
No. So let's say, okay, so I go ahead and go. My favorite matchup of mine would be in the Eastern Conference would be, the Hornets and the Celtics. Why? Because, that'll be a good, I think possibly the way that the Celtics are looking, like the Hornets could probably beat them to be in the playoffs, and to see LaMelo Ball going to his, the first playoffs, his first career would be pretty cool. And I guess for the Western Conference, definitely don't want to see the Warriors and the Grizzlies, because y'all know how my heart will be with that one. I had to pick. You know what I'm saying? That's how it is right now. But like I said, you got 3 teams in the Eastern Conference that are tied, so we really can't, pick who we would want to see in the matchup. So it's like who you know what I'm saying? Who would you like to see? And like for me, like I said, Melo could beat the Celtics with Charlotte, so he'd be in the playoffs. In the Western, I would love to see, Golden State. I would love to keep it how it is, Golden State and the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? Steph Curry's hot. Lakers, they're about to get going. You know what I'm saying? When did they call it up? So I got to do it better. Answer your question.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, cool.
Thank you. And so for me, I guess I'll stay West and then go East. I do. Who doesn't want to see LeBron play? And I actually want to see LeBron in the Warriors go against the Warriors, because I think that the Blazers will win their game, because the Nuggets don't want to see the Lakers in any way, shape, or form. So to me, I would love to see the Lakers and Warriors go at it, because either team could still lose and still be in the playoffs, because they just have to win the next game. And if I'm in the East, I think, man, we just talked about this guy, man, Russell Westbrook. They can win their game tonight. I think they have enough to beat the Celtics team that is just going to have Jason Tatum, because Jaylen Brown is hurt, and who knows what Kemba Walker you'll get. So to me, I want to see that matchup better in the East.
And that's the exact matchup I want to see, Sheedy. I want to see Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal versus Kemba Walker and Jason Tatum. Give me Wizards, Celtics on the Eastern Conference side. Get the stars going against each other. And on the West, I want to rematch of last year's play-in. I need Portland to fall down to number 7 and play the Grizzlies for play-in spot, just like last year. Rematch.
That's that you want to smoke.
Smoke. It is what it is, though. I got them there. So
I'm going to keep mine simple, because there's a matchup that I really, really want to see. So I think Portland plays Denver today. I think Portland wins that game, and because Portland wins that game, they stay the 3 seed. No.
6.
They stay the 6 seed. You're right, and I think the Clippers would go up a seed to 3. So therefore, I really want to see Clippers and Blazers. So that doesn't answer the question. I think for that to happen, I really want. I guess for playing purposes, like LeBron versus Steph, I think that's going to give plenty of ratings. Everybody wants to see that, especially with the run that Steph Curry is on. Plus, LeBron James is now back. He looks fairly healthy for the most part. The Lakers, I think they're on a 4-game win streak right now. They play again later today. I think they played the Pelicans, so they could end the season on a 5-game win streak. So I'm going to go there. And I think a playing game that I really would like to see as well too. I really don't care about Boston, even though I think the Hornets are a really good watch. So I'm going to go with the Wizards and the Pacers. The Pacers have struggled for the most part down the stretch. And I think they have players in and out of their lineup. So, and I think the Wizards could potentially take that play-in matchup. So I'm going to go Wizards and Pacers, and then Lakers and Warriors for my play-in.
Well, for my play-in on the West, I'm just going to keep it short and sweet. It's the Lakers and the Warriors for reasons everyone has talked about. As far as the East is concerned, I want this Wizards-Nets matchup. So I'm hoping that Washington wins today against Charlotte and takes the 8th seed, and they knock Boston out in the play-in. So the one in the East is forced to play in. I'm looking forward to it, and it's just assuming everything happens the way I'm hoping it does, is the Wizards and the Celtics. The Celtics have been reeling all season. They're down to just Jason Tatum, as everyone else has said. The Wizards are on a roll right now. They've been on a roll even without Bradley Beal. They just got Bradley Beal back today from his hamstring injury. So I wouldn't be surprised if Washington knocks Boston out and takes that 7th seed and matches up with the Brooklyn Nets to everyone's delight. It's going to be a lot of drama and things of that nature. We all know Brooklyn's going to win that series, but just the drama behind it is just going to be entertaining. So if I had to choose, it'll definitely be Lakers Warriors, and then I expect a change in the seeding and the play-in. So I'm going Washington and Boston for the 7th spot.
All right, and I don't think everybody else gave their set who they expect to get their 7 and 8 seed. So, I guess we can go around with quick, starting with me, man. I guess I'm convinced. Y'all convinced me, I guess. So, Nets and let me see who was Nets and Wizards for me with the 7, and I love to see LaMelo win. So, give me LaMelo and the Hornets with the 8th seed on the East. As far as the West go, I would love to see. Oh man. I don't want to say it because, like I said, of course the Lakers are gonna be in the playoffs, so I would love to see them go against, I guess, the Suns. You know what I'm saying, just to get that matchup going, and of course the Grizz going against the Jazz because hey, the Jazz really ain't healthy right now, so the Grizz can possibly go to the second round if they can get their head out their butts. But who y'all got getting that 7-8 seed on these conferences?
Yeah, it's possible. But honestly, Memphis has to win today if that's going to happen. If they win today, that at least gives them a chance of getting that 8 seed. So, but if they don't win today, it's not looking too good. So
yeah, I really want the Grizzlies to grab the 8. I think I'm almost positive the Lakers are locked in at 7. I'm almost positive they are. But I would really like the Grizzlies to grab their last seed. Of course, just for a local team, it being Memphis, and you definitely want to see Memphis take that the next step forward, and potentially being some form of a threat in the Western Conference standing. So I definitely want the Grizzlies to grab the 8th seed and go against the Jazz. And the Jazz are I think they're worthy of being the top seed in the West, but it's the Jazz. I'm sorry. Like I understand how good they are. They shoot the ball really, really well from 3. Defensively, they're top notch, but sorry, y'all, it's the Jazz. That's just thing. Regardless of if it's if Utah was the 1 seed, if they were the 4 or 5 seed, like I think for the most part, a lot of people will probably still have the Jazz, potentially losing their first round matchup. So I'm gonna go there. 7 and 8 in the East. I definitely would like for that to be the Wizards and the Hornets. I just think that they're the better watch for my liking to potentially get in the playoffs. So I'm going to go with those 2 as well.
Okay, quick question before we move on. So you're calling a Utah upset in the first round. So who does it?
I'm not calling you a top upset, but I think it won't be as easy, regardless if they play. It kind of sucks if you're the Jazz, right? You get the number 1 seed. You think you probably get a chance to play like the Spurs or something, but you got you might get the Lakers, you might get the Warriors, who have played well. And I think the Warriors just beat them, if I'm not mistaken, within the past week. So definitely not an easy task for the 1 seed there. So no, I'm not calling upset, but I think it's going to be fairly close. Regardless of whoever they play.
Gotcha.
Since we're talking about this real quick, I never bet against LeBron in a Game 7 scenario, and a play-in scenario is a Game 7 to me. However, if LeBron and the Lakers are an 8th seed, that trek for them to get back to the Western Conference Finals to me is easier if the standings were to stay the way they are, because I believe they have enough to beat Utah in the first round. I believe they have enough to beat the winner of if the Clippers and Mavericks stay the way they are, to beat the Clippers and Mavericks, and then they match up with whoever's left. And so this whole season, especially these last few weeks, have all been about chess, not checkers, and just positioning. And so I would love to see them actually in the 8th seed and not the 7th seed, and really shock some people and actually make it all the way to the Western Conference Finals, if not win it all from there.
I'm gonna take this to your point, Shitty. I don't think there's ever been a finals champion that's been a 6 seed or worse.
No, it's been a 6 seed.
Oh, okay, maybe
it's 7 seed worse. Houston Rockets won as a 6 seed.
There you go.
Team Elijah won.
Yeah, the King thing. I think the first one they were 6 seed.
The second one.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah.
And to me, if anyone can do it,
If anybody could do it.
I believe that a healthy LeBron, a healthy Anthony Davis against a battered Utah team, and then like I said, you got the Clippers and Mavericks. If those two teams stay the way they are, who knows if KP's going to play a whole series, right? Or you take it up with the Clippers, and then you meet whoever in the finals of the West.
You ain't got to convince us that. That's not a real 7 or 8 seed. That's a team that got hurt and fell down to 7 or 8. It got everybody back in time. But for my pick, give me Lakers and Golden State. I mean, I don't love Memphis, but I mean, let's be real. I just don't.
They are who we thought they were.
Right, I see it. I'm a hope, but I do believe Golden State has legit shot. Not necessarily beating Utah, but that's gonna be a hell of a series. We're still versus them. And Lakers going. I mean, 7 seed gonna get to the finals, in my opinion. East, give me Washington, Boston in playoffs. Just because I think they're the two better teams of those 4 teams in the play-in. Now one of them beating the top 2 seeds, but just want to get the stars in the playoffs. Give me Jason Tatum and Bradley Beal and Russ in the playoffs over the other 2 teams.
Sorry, I didn't stay at my East. My fault. If I could really quickly, I want Wizards in the 7th seed. And then the 8th seed, give me the Hornets. I think the Celtics don't have it.
Wait, am I the only one that got the Grizzlies in the playoffs?
Yeah, Trevor did. Oh, okay.
No, not me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, we want to make playoffs. Of course.
We want them to, but
we're realists. That's what that is.
Show us.
We'll discuss on Saturday.
I guess I'm an optimist, man.
Yeah. No, beat Golden State today, get the 8 spot, and then you have your chance. It's that simple.
You're still in front of them.
Shouldn't have lost to the Pistons.
We run a full
we should have lost to a whole bunch.
We can run a full list.
We ain't about to go there.
Yeah,
that's
go down the last couple months.
We ain't about to go down there.
For games, we just need to just forget.
But real quick before we move on, I think one I just saw that one matchup that I think that may be good too in the Eastern Conference is that Knicks and Hawks won as well too. I think that one may be good as well.
With the MIP, I feel you.
All right, let's get to your board. I got a couple. We already mentioned it. I think it was right before the show. Or was it the beginning of the show? You down to say something? You're bored, man. Is he bored or not? Got in the game 3 minutes ejected. He had 4 points though.
I don't know if he's bored because that's probably the most action he's gotten in an NBA game in like a year or two. So I don't know if he was bored, but I'm not sure what the hell that was.
Me neither, but apparently Miami got something set up for him once he decides to call it a career. Like it's clearly evident there. But
strength and conditioning
coach. So what?
Well, I said, what is a strength and conditioning coach?
Who knows? Maybe partaking ownership. Who knows? Something is waiting on him once he decides that I'm done playing. So,
I know she has one, but I do have another one. Writer Mark Berman from the New York Times or New York or whatever. The Grizzlies, Jaren Jackson Jr. doubts could pave way for the Knicks to get Jaren Jackson Jr. Is he bored enough? He wrote an article about Jaren Jackson playing for the Knicks.
He's not as bored as we are pertaining him to be, and I know where this stance is coming from. It's because his dad works for the Knicks, and I think he just kind of took that and ran with it. So he's not as bored as we appearing out to be, but he still can find something to do. Bro,
you can find something better to do with his time.
Yeah, you can find something much better to do with your time, man. Come on.
Yeah, I think he's bored. So, I don't know the last time I've known somebody who, in some form or fashion, is related to the Knicks, and they wrote about the Memphis Grizzlies. They, in no form or fashion, are related to each other at all. I think he was quite bored.
Knicks need a point guard. Why you just didn't write an article about how they can get Ja Morant?
Right.
He would have been extremely bored then.
Right. Jaren Jackson definitely
fireball offense, in my opinion.
Jaren Jackson definitely played the same position as Julius Randle. So
Man, look, they need to be focusing on trying to get Lonzo Ball. Talking about from Jerry.
Right.
Focus on getting Lonzo Ball, getting the point guard there. Then we can talk.
All right, Sheedy.
I'm sorry, as y'all were talking about that, I had to dig for this one a little bit. First team all defense and second team all defense. I don't know where y'all want to start, but I'll start from the beginning. First team all defense as displayed by, this is NBA on ESPN, by the way. Oh my God. They got maybe two of these things right. Ben Simmons, Jimmy Butler as your guards, Kawhi Leonard, Draymond Green, forwards, Rudy Gobert, center. Let me go to the second.
What's wrong with that?
That's about right to me.
What's wrong with that?
Go through the second.
Go to the second.
Hold
Go
on,
to the second.
hold on.
Go to the second one. Go to the second
Well,
one.
first one, I'll go to the second one, then I'll come back to the first one and tell you why I don't like the second.
Okay.
The first one. Jrue Holiday. Make sure this is on for this one.
My wipe is enough.
Lou Dort.
I mean,
Matisse Thybulle,
No finish.
Giannis, and Clint Capella. Second team.
What's your issue?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. That's about.
What's your issue?
Oh, you know. Oh, no. I got it. Bam.
Okay.
Where's Bam Adebayo? That's
Where's Bam?
There we go.
Bam? You're right.
Second.
Where's Bam?
I get Lou Dort, and I know this ain't starting. No. Just
You
hear
don't
me
watch
out.
the Thunder. You don't watch the Thunder.
Just hear me out.
You don't watch
I
the Thunder.
I get Lou Dort, but, and I know this ain't starting five, but damn it, where's Dylan Brooks?
There we go. There we go.
Not
There
on
we
the
go.
damn list as he should
I'm
be.
sorry.
Not on the list as he should be. I've
Yeah.
watched Dylan Brooks not
He-
play good defense.
He locked up ESPN's Great White Hope not once, but twice. And let's not forget he locked up Bradley Beal too in their matchups, and he's nowhere to be.
Twice.
Dad clock is right twice a day. God.
Luka
damn.
Doncic is shooting.
No.
Luka Doncic
No.
is shooting
Y'all ain't
5
no way
of
in
20.
hell y'all finna convince me that Dylan Brooks deserved to be on the second team all the NBA defense.
Luka
Lou Dort,
Doncic
yes, sir.
is shooting.
Over Lou Dort?
Listen to me too. Luka Doncic is shooting 5 of 25 when guarded by Dylan Brooks.
Well, lucky he only hit that one of the game, but it's neither here nor there.
And you saw what they did to him just this past week when we were all in the house. Oh
You know
yeah,
what?
who led
Let me not be a
the team was
hater.
going.
Look, y'all people on Dylan Brooks Island, y'all sipping that good stuff that the good people in Vegas out here drinking.
Hey,
I'm letting y'all
enjoy
have
it,
it. I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna lean back because Dylan has
Like I
come
said,
through. I'm gonna step
I
back. Dylan has come through. But when we talk about defense,
I understand Lou Dort, but it hasn't translated to them winning.
Agreed.
So let's stop. Let's put the hammer right there. There's no reason.
talent has stopped
Why?
them from winning.
No. So then Lou Dort is let's talk about this. If Lou Dort is such the great defender that he is, then they got to win more than 21 games in this season. Because you have to be
Dylan
able
Brooks
to
is a
stop
defender
people.
that we have. Will Barton and Tim Hardaway and Wayne Ellington shouldn't be shooting 6 threes on us.
Are they making them?
Yes. Will Ellington had 6 threes the last time we played the G League Pistons.
Well, most of those
Wayne
wasn't
Ellington
because
had 6 threes on us.
well,
Dylan
first
Brooks
of all,
ain't
Wayne
stopping that.
Ellington-
Well, maybe they were getting guarded by your.
Everyone put up points
They wasn't
against
getting guarded by
I
Dylan
understand.
Brooks.
Yeah, maybe they're getting guarded by Grayson Allen.
I'm all team second team. Let me guard the hot man.
No,
He guards the best player.
Dylan Brooks had to guard Corey Joseph because he was picking us apart. Like he picked up Corey Joseph full court, which I still don't understand. And all of a sudden, Wayne Ellington is open for 3. So
right, and to your point, like even if it was just those 3, I'm pretty sure there's maybe a case of more. But lately, and I would say even going back to January, February, Dylan Brooks, I will say this: he has locked down several defenders, and I think he has a case for making defensive all team, or is it first or second team? He could have been first. My call outs were, I'm sorry, I ain't seen Giannis lock down nobody. That's just me personally. I ain't seen Clint Capella lock down anybody. So in my opinion, I would put Dylan Brooks up there. I would put Bam up there, at least with those two. I hadn't seen.
Yeah.
Now, Luke Dort does play defense. I will say that, and if anything, he put on a case last year in the playoffs. I will say that I haven't watched much Thunder this year.
What was the word you said? What was the word you said? You said playoffs.
He said last year though.
year.
No.
You talking about this season?
Okay. As far as this season go, Dylan Brooks, show me.
He's done
Steph
it.
Curry, no.
It's two. Have you watched Luke Dort this year?
Playoffs, play in. Show me.
Hey,
No, he is a better defender than Dylan Brooks. No, but they're a boring team. I'm not gonna sit here and say like I watched them.
Actually, the defensive player efficiency, Dylan Brooks is one better than Lou. Actually,
show me. This is the time to show me. This is the time to show a person like me who's a Dylan Brooks critic. Y'all know I've been hot on this. Show me.
I did a complete 180. So I trust
y'all.
me.
He's convinced y'all. He's convinced y'all.
We don't matter.
This is the time to show me.
Locking up. Okay, so locking up Luka Doncic.
Hey, we get Spotify listeners. We saw them out of
locking up Luka Doncic is not convincing. Locking up Bradley Beal is not convincing. I'm
playoffs when it matters. When it matters.
But that,
because of Chris Paul. Let's be
but
real.
all defensive teams are regular season.
Yeah,
conference though. That's not.
I guess.
Let's see
Good
point.
Good point.
Hold on.
I already know where you're going.
You said for the playoffs.
I already know where you're going to go.
The playoffs. You know, Lou and them are getting ready for the first or second pick right now. So they definitely ain't talking about the playoffs.
And if the Grizz don't show up, we definitely ain't talking about playoffs either. That's what I'm
way
saying.
closer than the Thunder.
Hey, the couch is the couch regardless.
At least we got play in.
The couch is the couch. Y'all know I'm right.
We're here.
The couch is the couch regardless, bro. 7-8 the couch is the couch regardless. We can all have a big OKC Thunder Grizz party if the Grizz don't show up. That's what I'm saying. And that's because Dylan Brooks don't allow Andrew Wiggins to score 30 or LeBron or Kyle Kuzma to score 30 or whatever the case may be. I'm looking at Dylan Brooks. I'm looking at him. This is the time for me to come.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay. I don't think there's no convincing you, but it's okay.
It is. Oh yes.
You know he played. His backcourt mates like one of the worst defensive players in the league. We love Ja Morant, but he ain't exactly your precious. I love JV too, but he's very on defense.
JV been pissing me off.
So it's kind of hard to go out everybody with Dylan Brooks.
But I actually got a year board real quick. Just a wordplay on the words. If you're bored and hadn't listened to J. Cole's new album, go do it. Go do it. You know what I'm saying? Basketball references, like it's crazy. Like go listen to it if you're bored, please.
And some decent stats in this first game too.
Hey,
I need that stat line. I saw the footage of his first bucket. I need the stat line.
What can you say? These my numbers. These my numbers, young fella. Keep it up.
Yeah.
All right, man. That was fun. Like Tuke said, man. Shout out to J. Cole. Great album. Didn't fail once again. Still guys haters out there, but let's be real. Yeah. J. Cole is up there.
Hey, bro, like you're not. That applying pressure track was not fair. Whoever he mad at, they might not come out aside for like next 2 weeks. He's mad at somebody.
Did he?
I know. I'm just kidding.
That's why he popped.
I hear from Diddy for a couple weeks.
Let me stop, man. Let me stop.
One got me was that let go my hand.
Mm-hmm.
He went in.
Mm-hmm.
How you got Cameron on the intro and then in on some Atlanta-ish? Like, come on, man.
That jump was.
But anybody got anything else?
Just a reminder, listener, Johnny will be out next week. First episode, talk about the draft for the Steelers as well as I go through the schedule game by game and give a record and a playoff prediction for the Steelers.
I don't think I'm looking for in your podcast. I just want to know when Dwayne Haskins is starting. That's all I care about.
I didn't do it in this first episode, but I'm pretty sure throughout the season I'm going to be talking about it. We may even hop on the start Dwayne Haskins campaign if it gets to that.
I'll join you.
Yeah.
School and Machida, get ready to get some more controversy coming down y'all's way. This next month and a half. I got some things planned. I just gotta find the right people to put in those places.
Good job, man. Yeah, good job.
And remember, check out Uncle Mike's podcast. Let's talk about it. And if you don't want to know who Uncle Mike is, want to get familiar with him, his podcast is on YouTube. Let's talk about it. And he was also in the first 2 episodes of Schooling with Sheedy. So, man, check him out. Check out the rest of the LBR fam. Check out Savage. I know he's going to be on Baby Duty for a while. Congrats to him again. LBR Sportsman coming out. So we were on the popping.
Out the gate, man. Let's get it.
Popping out pods and popping out babies. Let's go.
Wow.
Hey, that was perfect.
Let's go.
All right, man.
Way to end it right there.
Right. But one last thing, starting 5, new episode tomorrow. We'll be breaking down the play-in scenarios for the Grizzlies after the game today. So, till next time.
Peace.